When Planeswalkers were introduced in 2007, there were only 5, one for each color of mana. Since then, we've gotten Planeswalkers in all but two-color combinations, green-white and green-blue. Well, this January, we finally get our first green-blue Planeswalker. Let's take a look at Kiora, the Crashing Wave. Mark Rosewater has often said that Planeswalkers are far too important to Magic to waste them doing box checking for color combinations, but he has assured us that when the time was right, we would meet Planeswalkers of the blue-green and green-white variety. We've actually met multiple Planeswalkers in other combinations already, like green-red. We've gotten 3 of those so far. But Kiora Atua is actually the very first blue-green aligned Planeswalker ever. Kiora Atua premiered back in 2011, that's June of 2011, in a Duels of the Planeswalkers 2012 preview. This is a lot like what they did with Nissa Ravane. She premiered in Duels of the Planeswalkers 2011 a year prior. This was before we even knew if we were going to get a card for Nissa, or in this case, Kiora. We played the game, it was fun, and she was in it. She had a blue-green deck, so we knew that she was a blue-green aligned Planeswalker, but we didn't know if and when we were ever going to see an actual card for her. It actually took much longer for us to see Kiora. Nissa actually got printed back in Zendikar block, so we got that gap filled, but since then, blue-green is a huge color combination for a lot of fans, and we've been clamoring to fill it, so we kind of knew that it was only a matter of time before we saw her on cardboard. The question was, how long? Now we know that she will be in the upcoming second set in Theros block, Born of the Gods. Let's take a closer look at her card. First off, Kiora, the Crashing Wave, is in the very, very sweet spot at 2 blue-green. 4 mana is absolutely the point where Planeswalkers start to see competitive play. This kind of allows for a decent, consistent power level at a really reasonable cost. You're not looking at like too cheap, meaning they're too weak, or too powerful, meaning they're too expensive. 4 mana is right where you want to be to see a lot of playability. The artwork is, of course, gorgeous. This is the same piece that we saw back in 2011 by Scott Fisher, and this is a really beautiful homage to the Great Wave off Kanagawa, a kind of classic piece. She hits the field at 2 loyalty, which is definitely pretty low, especially for a 4-mana Planeswalker, but wait till you see what she does. I think she's really cool. Her first ability reads, +1, go up 1 loyalty, until your next turn prevent all damage that would be dealt to and dealt by target permanent and opponent controls. Not bad, not bad. It's actually off to a pretty good start. All the best Planeswalkers have a tendency to protect themselves with their plus abilities. And I can definitely see scenarios where this one isn't necessarily ideal, but neutralizing the biggest threat on the board definitely does go a long way towards getting her closer to hitting her ultimate, or at least just doing her money's worth in terms of the 4-mana investment. Her second ability is -1, draw a card. You may play an additional land this turn. Very nice. I like this a lot. This is basically Explore. It's the same exact card text. I really like to see this kind of ability in kind of repeatable form. This is like so much card advantage. If you just keep bouncing back and forth between the +1 and the -1, and you keep her protected, even if you only get to minus her twice, which I doubt is what you're going to do with her, you've still basically gotten your money out of it. You've gotten 2 Explorers, but presumably that's not how you're going to be playing her. But I mean, I'm excited to just sit in like a Commander game or something and go +1, -1, +1, -1, +1, -1. Now, her ultimate is actually really saucy. I really like ultimates like this. -5. You get an emblem with, at the beginning of your end step, put a 9/9 blue Kraken creature token onto the battlefield. Yes, a 9/9. Wow, I really like ultimates that are like this, that are like really splashy and really have a tendency to close out the game. All the best ultimates do that. They just basically end the game, but this one does it in style, I think. I love ultimates that give emblems because you cannot interact with them, and I really have a hard time seeing how you come back from something like this. Even if you find a way to deal with a 9/9 every single turn, there's just no way you're using the rest of your time and resources efficiently to do anything else valuable during the game. Really, really excited to play with Kiora, especially in Commander, and see how this one goes off. I mean, just 9/9 every turn. What? So now, obviously, there's the question of whether or not she'll see competitive play. Now, obviously, we don't know what's in Born of the Gods just yet, and we also don't know how the minor gods for each of the 2-color combinations are going to work, how that's going to work with Devotion. But I do think it's safe to assume that the blue-green god Crucifix will be in Born of the Gods. We just need to see what the impact of Born of the Gods' additions to the blue-green pool are going to be like before we can kind of determine a little bit of playability. We can figure that out more when we hit February, but for right now, Kiora doesn't really slap into anything in the current meta. There's a ton of mono blue and a ton of mono black devotion decks flying around. There are some junk decks, there's some 2-color aggro decks, but there's nothing in the way of blue-green that could really utilize her at the moment. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's in Born of the Gods so that we can see how all of this shakes out. In terms of the kitchen table, though, boyo, I am so happy and really looking forward to putting together a ridiculously rampy gangs all here kind of deck with Kiora, Ralzeric, Xenagos, and Domri Raid. Just a ridiculous amount. Like, Domri Raid to get those big fat fatties off the top of your deck and keep getting that card advantage. Kiora to start protecting things, get you more ramp out of those explorers. Eventually, maybe even hit that 9/9 emblem. Ralzeric to ramp you for mana, Xenagos to ramp you for mana, and Ralzeric also does a ton of protection duty with his Lightning Bolt. Man, I'm super excited. I love decks with lots of Planeswalkers. It makes the Johnny and me sing. So I'm really excited to play with Kiora, especially in this kind of rug situation that she tends to lend herself towards. I'm definitely curious to know what you guys think about Kiora. Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button down there below. It really does make a huge difference. Plus, it makes me feel good every time I get another like. So, thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed this one, you can hit the subscribe button below to get notifications about when I post new videos. And thank you so much for watching.